to get started in 1 second. So,
Yep.
all right, we good.
Hey, Shalom, Shalom. We are the brothers of the Great Millstone, the branch here in Chicago. And first and foremost, we want to give all praise and honor and glory
To Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakodash.
Double honors unto the apostles, double honors unto the elder bishops. Salutations to all our fellow laborers around the four corners of the earth that are doing this work in truth and sincerity, risking their lives and their freedom to do so, now more so than ever. To the scattered elect that are scattered around the four corners of the earth, right? That are among the heathen that look like the heathen, right? The Israelite foreigners. And to the few Akwaf that are listening and learning, we say Shalom. And what was the title though?
Rogue
Rogue.
control.
Yeah, rogue or controlled opposition, Esau still being made bare. Whether it be in his politics, within his movies, his cartoons, his entertainment, music videos, the Revelation 19 and 10, real quick, Papa Shop.
Revelation chapter 19, you said verse 10?
Yeah, it was in 19 and 20, the spirit of
Then I
prophecy.
felt,
19
yes,
and 10, right?
10, yes. So this is Revelation chapter 19, verse 10. It says, "And I fell at his feet to worship him. And he said unto me, See thou do it not. I am thy fellow servant, and of thy brethren that have the testimony of Yahushua. Worship Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, for the testimony of Yahushua is the spirit of prophecy."
Right, that spirit of prophecy. And what we do is that we, the Lord has gifted us with the understanding of the scriptures and the prophecy. And what the Watchmen do, which we are, we watch. And the moment a news story breaks, when they're major news stories, we filter them right through the scriptures.
That's right.
All right? This is Obadiah 1:6, and it reads, "How are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up?" All right? The Holy Scriptures, through the prophecies. The Lord gave you a specific set of prophecies for specific sets of time. And and all these things, was that Luke the 24th chapter? I think it's the 24th chapter.
I got something for you.
Go ahead, bring it out, brother.
This is 2nd Ezra chapter 4, verse 37. It says, "By measure hath he measured the times, and by number hath he numbered the times. And he doth not move nor stir them until the said measure be fulfilled." So yeah, within this, this kingdom that we're in right now, all right, it's an end. Just like it says, endure to the end. It says in that Galatians how our Lord and Savior is going to come save us from this present temporal evil world, from this present evil world, all right? So in this present evil world is in different time periods, all right? And these different nations, all right, according to the will of the Father, right, they rule, all right, according to how long the Most High set them up. That's why it says God is the judge. He put it down one and set it up another, all right, according to his will. And guess what? You always have the prophets there to tell you of the downfall of that particular nation that's going down. That's why Jeremiah 28:8, it says, "The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many kingdoms, against great countries, of war, evil, and of pestilence." You see, because they have reached their time that the Most High gave them, and then the prophets come out and tell you of them. It says, "Hey, before the prophecies spring forth, I tell you of them," and he tell you of them by way of the prophets, all right, his mouthpiece. Okay, so here it is, these prophecies, all right, they're all coming to pass according to the will of the Father. Okay, and we're out here right now telling you these things. That's why the prophets are saying even today, because the kingdom of heaven is at hand. That's the ultimate will of the Father, the kingdom of heaven, all right, the eternal righteous kingdom, which is going to be right here on the earth, ruled by the special chosen children, and the special chosen children are going to rule it with the way that the Most High gave them, all right, which is the way of righteousness, the way of life. See, and when the Israelites rule, it's going to be no more, no other nation ruling, because the scriptures talk about how because of unrighteous dealings, riches, injuries, got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another. But when you have the righteous people ruling, because they were made perfectly righteous, and they're going to rule with the righteousness of the Most High God, so there's not going to be any need of them going down. All right, there's not going to be any need of any translation anymore. All right, this is the last translation, the last transition from from Esau ruling, all right, to Jacob ruling. All right, this is all the will of the Father, man. All right, you got to get on board or get left.
That's right.
God, it was Matthew 24. I was thinking of when I said Luke. Go ahead. You have something, brother?
I was going to bring out Habakkuk. You was talking about standing on my watch. Habakkuk 2:1. I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower, and will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer when I'm reproved. Right? We are the watchmen on the tower. That's why I was doing a little walk and talk on the way here, and before the live show, and one of the things we see and waiting for Yahweh to come back, we see all these different events that come up. The CBDC, and last year it was put into law and signed. It was supposed to start being enacted in, I think, June or whatever. The Fed Now app was supposed to be launched in July and so forth. And you had the WEF last week say that everybody's going to have to get C-hipped in order to be,
Participate in daily life.
Participate
in daily life.
Daily life. Buy and sell, Nate.
Like we just walk down the street, Right.
Right.
You got to see him?
Right. Because if you want to go, well, they don't have a helmet, buckler, and shield roundabout, and so you want to go across a certain barrier to get to access to this place and that place, or you want to go purchase and buy and sell.
He said, buy water and food.
That's the most simple things of life. All right. So when we see these things, we stand on our watch, and then the Lord says, "What I tell you in secret,
selling house tops."
Put it, Bible shot. Somebody get that one. Whatever I tell you in secret, put it out on the housetops. If you go and look at this internet that's connected to, or the Wi-Fi is connected to a tower, it's connected to the side of the house that goes into the poles. We're on the housetops right now, right?
Yeah, this is Matthew 10:27. What I tell Salaki. Oh, they fixed the app. This is Matthew 10:27.
Want me to read it? I got it.
No, I was seeing if I was gonna start up.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, I just get to the point. Matthew 10:27. What I tell you in darkness, that speak ye in light, and what ye hear in the ear, that preach ye upon the housetops.
Go ahead and read 28 and 29.
Okay.
Because, we open with risking our lives and freedom to do so. There's, your life is in danger when you're doing the work of the Lord. And if the Lord's going to have that covering over you, we would have done that.
Well, I'm starting
like the scripture says, when you depart from evil, you make yourself a
prey.
prey.
There it is.
And what happened to Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego? What happened to Daniel? What happened to Yahushua?
Yeah, did they harm anyone? Did they do any wrong to anyone? No, they departed from evil.
That's it. So you're going against the grain.
That's right.
This world is going according to the ways of evil. And when we depart from that, when we renounce corruption, then we make ourselves a prey. Then we put ourselves out there, for everybody to see that you're going against the grain. You know what I'm saying?
They hate them, they rebuke it in the gate.
Exactly. And so just like the Lord said, he said, hey, if the world hate you, you know that it hated me before it hated you. Because we're not of the world. We're not of evil. All right, we're about what the Most High calls righteousness, and we don't be prideful and establish our own righteousness. No, we humble ourselves to what the Most High already established as righteous.
I'm gonna start at 26 then. This is spirit. Matthew 10:26. Fear them not, therefore, for there is nothing covered that shall not be revealed, and hid that shall not be known. All right, and through the Spirit, that's the topic. That's the title. All right, Esau was being exposed, man. The Lord set up his prophets, all right, to prophesy.
Yeah.
And part of the prophecy says, how shall the head of things of Esau be sought up? All right, well, the prophet's exposing this devil, man, speaking against him, man. Standing upon that watch.
That's it.
It says, do justice, deliver the, how's the word in Psalm 32?
Deliver the needy.
From the hand of the wicked. The
That's
water,
it.
that's it. Deliver the needy from the hand of the wicked.
That's it.
So that's our job, man, right?
Yeah, if I may say real quick, because it says, you know, what we're teaching, this is the light, you know, and it says men love darkness rather than light, right? Because their deeds are evil. But it says whatever doth make manifest, he is light. You see? And so we're making manifest, you know, what's truly going on out here in the world and exposing all wickedness.
That Ephesians 5 just quoted, it says, have no fellowship with the works of darkness, but rather reprove them.
Yes.
That's right, Yep. Back in his Matthew 10:26, fear them not therefore, for there is nothing covered that should not be revealed, and hid that should not be known. What I tell you in darkness, that speak ye in light.
Perfect.
And what you hear in the ear, that preach ye upon the housetops.
That's why we let Esau come up with another sliver of a prophecy. You're gonna have brothers not even knowing or communicating with each other. We're doing like you said the other day. I was doing a live show the same topic. The Elder Manatas.
I've seen it happen too many times as of lately.
That's the spirit.
Yeah.
All right, and if we're all in one accord with the spirit of Yahweh, like the scripture says, you think that you have Hamashiach, so are we, so am I. But if we all in the spirit of Yahweh, he say, hit this topic, you're going to have a dozen brothers talk about a particular topic, unbeknownst to themselves, and that's going to feed the body because it's of the Lord.
And see, that's what's happening as these prophecies that are written are coming to fruition. Esau is being made bare. All right. And to give you an example, one of the examples of that is this freedom cry, or what is it? Freedom something movie? What is it? Sound of Freedom movie.
Yeah.
And all the controversy that it's getting.
Right.
All right. And all the exposure of how wicked Hollywood is, and now people coming out of the woodwork. You know, certain actors is starting to speak up, and you know,
Because they were vexed the whole time, but they was holding them out.
and entertainers, musicians and stuff starting to speak up. And you know, so as these prophecies are popping off, the Esau Edom, the so-called white man, is just being made to look bad worldwide. You know, the different tidbits of history popping out. Say, Benji, could you grab that, bring up that image that you sent me?
Okay, kind
because that's a heavy image.
Shameful spewing on
Shameful, pull it up.
Yes.
Because it's shameful spewing on His glory. Because the harder that they try to whitewash history, the more the evidence that they lied and did whitewash history is coming out, man. Someone sent me an image of a Spartan, and then you can see how the nose and lips were chipped off, and the whole thing was fine. Why would and if they didn't, the nose and lips just didn't fall off, you could see that they were mangled because they were trying to hide those features. But what they couldn't hide was his braids. The braids under the and you can, those are clearly the same. And the person pointed out in the image that those were the same braids that a lot of people that came out of West African wear, which is basically like the braids that Yacht got wearing right now. All right, but go ahead and read it, brother.
You want me to read that Habakkuk?
Oh no, you hold that. I want him to read.
Okay.
So it says, this book was written in 1670, 350 years ago. It was found in the library at Harvard a few months ago by this African American, which he's not African American, he's an Israelite.
That's them trying to control the narrative.
On page 34, it was written that descendants of Hebrews escaping from the Romans were found living on the banks of the Niger River.
Okay,
and it's not Niger, it's nigger.
It's nigger. It's actually nigger, and Jake needs to embrace that.
Nigger.
It's actually nigger. Hey, we got Timbuktu. Could somebody get the and go ahead and get that same for spewing on his glory.
Can I finish your last?
Yes.
Go ahead, brother.
Found living on the banks of the Niger River, which Acts 13:1. Go to the blue letter, click on the word, it'll say
somebody
nigger.
Get it. He spoke it. Get it.
Play the audio.
Whoever get it first.
And in the Winston Simplified Encyclopedia Dictionary 1925, it breaks down the word. It spells nigger, Niger, and the phonetic spelling is Nigger. That so it was never Niger. It's actually nigger. All right. All right. You got somebody's phone might be a little louder.
That's right.
Strong's G 3526. Nigger.
Right. So the you know, go ahead and read the scripture now, and then read that all over again. Brother Shah St. Benjamin.
This Acts 13:1. Now there were in the church that was at Antioch certain prophets and teachers, as Barnabas and Simon that was called Nigger, and Lucius of Cyrene, and Manaen,
So go ahead.
which had been brought up with Herod the Tetrarch and Saul.
All right. So all these prophets, all these disciples, all these men of the Lord, all these Hebrews of the kingdom of Judah, they were all called nigger. All right. It tells you in the anybody find the Timbuktu?
I'm just pulling up. This is
Just the quote about the shot. I think that's on page 85. It's either page 85 or 65.
It says gotta zoom it in. It's taking forever here.
I got it right here.
Go ahead, brother.
In the year 65 BC, the Roman armies under General Pompey captured Jerusalem. In 70 AD, General Vespasian and his son Titus put an end to the Jewish state with great slaughter. During the period of the military governors of Palestine, many outrages and atrocities were committed against the residue of the people. During the period from Pompey to Julius, it has been estimated that over 1 million Jews fled into Africa, fleeing from Roman persecution and slavery.
And then you'll hear, like, you know, some Jewish rabbis and historians speak on this subject, and you know, like Harry Rosenberg, I believe his name is. I'm starting to believe that dude might be a Jake. He defends Jake a little too much.
Oh, yeah, check.
But nevertheless, you see him change his stance and how he defends this fact. He's mentioned this fact. So that's 3 sources now. He's mentioned this quite a few times. You know, when he said, you know, that one video that was famous when he was answering polite, he said, well, there is something to this, because, you know, when these African Americans in America are saying that they're Jews, well, it turned, you know, he said that there actually was a bunch of Jews that fled into Africa that settled amongst the Igbo and among them in all different parts of Nigeria and on the west coast of Africa. And he's not the only rabbi to come out and admit that fact. So now you got multiple sources, 500-year-old, 300-year-old sources, you know, just basically solidifying what these men have said. Now, if you could read that again, St. Benjamin.
This book was written in 1670 and was found in the library at Harvard a few months ago. On page 34, it was written that descendants of Hebrews escaping from the Romans were found living on the banks of the Niger River. These are the Igbos, and they have a Hebrew culture. And then the book is called Africa being an accurate description of the regions of Egypt, Barbary, Libya, and Bilgari.
And I'm willing to bet that book was written by white scholars who are probably very well acclaimed. I was going to ask you to do that, and you can bring it and put it on this camera too, so the viewers could see it and screenshot it. So you can download it in your phone, and you know, so you can pull it out and hit Esau over the head with it when people like Dr. Michael Brown come with that, you know, with that Yiddish and that aftermarket Hebrew, you know.
That's right, but we need to continue to have these receipts, man. All right, these are receipts. These receipts is proof in the scriptures.
Bring it up a little bit so they can get the whole thing.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go. And then you can actually show them. That's the most important part. You show them a picture of the guy too. if I block one side, because it's trying to focus on two things.
Right.
Maybe it'll focus now.
Yeah, block on this side.
Android phones.
There you go. Now raise it up so you can get the dude's face holding the book. Bible shop. Or the whole, there we go. Come.
Oh, right.
Oh,
Oh,
yes, okay.
okay. Got it. Yeah, but keep those receipts because that Psalms, what is it? Truth shall spring forth out of the ground. A lot of the Lord is, it's like you have relic after relic after relic. The brother Shafir goes over to Europe, you know, on a regular basis, on every year, you know what I'm saying? And he goes to these castles and he'll get picture after pictures, artifacts, receipts, coats of arms.
And all
things
those
like
castles are built with unhewn stone.
Mm-hmm.
And
It
Esau
goes-
never built that way.
Right.
And you can tell when the rulership has changed because the building. My wife just came back from Europe. She went over to Austria, and she was sending me back all these images. And I pointed out to her, and she showed me the foundation of a particular place, and the foundation of it was all unhewn stone. And when you got to the top, everything was the way Esau builds now. I said that right there is the evidence, and I said that's why they went. That part is in public. All right, the foundation, that part is in public. What you see is the after thing, but you have to actually go inside to see the base of the foundation. So Esau built over what Jacob built. All right, and that's what they do, and then they just claiming things that are not there. So majority of those castles that are all throughout Europe and in West Africa, there was a lot of castles in Africa. All right, little do people know, it's all built with that same unhewn stone with ramparts and and 10 and 15 foot wall, double walls, thick that is, with high, and they were built the same way that the castles were built in Ireland, Scotland, and they were all throughout Africa. Why? Because that was the way that Jake was building. All right.
All of a sudden, that information.
And then because I had a
Some
book that has that
was
info.
still in there. I did. I'm gonna try to pull.
Yeah, I got a book at home. I can't recall the name of it that has some of that information in it. But you hold something, brother?
Yeah, this is that Habakkuk chapter 2 verse 16. It says, "Thou art filled with shame for glory. Drink thou also, and let thy foreskin be uncovered. The cup of the Lord's right hand shall be turned unto thee, and shameful spewing shall be on thy glory."
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah. So shameful spewing is on that glory, man. Because we that what's the girl name? Romero, Danielle Romero, when she read the letter. She read Ben Franklin's letter, and then she just outright said that it's clear to her that after reading this letter, and that the Scots, the Irish, and the Swedes, that these people, the Germans, they were all swarthy. All right, they were swarthy people, and because they weren't using that word black like that yet. That came a little bit later. They were identifying Jake was called swarthy because you gotta remember, that whole black and white. Those are false made up social constructs to control the narrative.
Yeah, when black was used back then, the word was pale. They was referring to pale.
And then you got names like.
And it was the Dutch that came up with that.
And you get a lot of names that's in this dates and knows no color lines. The Swartz, Swarthy, so forth. You got Schwarzenegger, because Schwarzenegger is actually Schwarzenegger.
Nigga twice.
Right, swarthy nigga. It's basically a swarthy nigga. That's really what his name. He's a he dark nigga. He dark black.
Black and y'all, black and black.
And then how you got a so-called white man with a black name?
Black.
All right. That's why.
Right. And I got a book at home. I can't recall the name of it, but in that book, it literally talks about the swarthy hordes of Scotland. They call them the dusky and swarthy hordes of Scotland. And both their word dusky, all right, and swarthy both mean black. And dusky over time became dusty. You will hear Jake say your dusty ass. What they're talking about is dusky, all right, meaning you're calling someone black or swarthy or nigger, which simply meant dark. So like we said, whether it's on purpose or it's by mistake, you know, because the question was earlier in conversation was DeSantis, and if we can find that clip, that short clip of him saying that he's not going to allow the Texans to
Floridians.
that he's not going to deal with the digital thing, and that's not going to be allowed in Texas. And if he does, and there is going to be a succession in Texas, and the rest of the South will follow. Yeah. So it's
Egyptian
DeSantis,
versus Egyptian.
you know, right? Because that's got to happen.
I sent it to you from my other phone.
All right.
And
So
I'm the one I'm recording with.
Con. So the way it goes, man, is that well, maybe I can pull it up, because what's going to happen, just like we said yesterday, you know, these Edomites are ready to clickety clack on each other, man.
Con.
They getting ready to start pulling back, you know, the boats. And
Is this one? DeSantis goes, hold on.
I think if it was Instagram, Elder, I sent it to your newest number.
Con.
This is off the heels of DeSantis.
Go ahead, Abby, he got it.
Oh, that's the same one?
DeSantis goes after digital currency in an attempt to ban federal effort.
And because look, he's going against the WEF.
Yeah.
Who, and look, the WEF, they're ruling over everything.
Con.
And because they're over governments and they're over your officials. Because I don't remember any election for the WEF. Does anybody remember?
Dr. Fraud. Dr. Fraud chief got more. Dr. Fraud was.
Well, you got a group of panel of Republicans going after him right now
Yep.
too, and everybody that was a part of his little thing, because what they said, what he did was tyrannical, unconstitutional, and he was never
how did he get the
given
votes?
that authority. But the WF gave it to him. So the point is that right. So I don't remember, because somebody please correct me if I'm wrong. Right? Put it on the comment board. But was there an election for this WEF to be over the American government, be over the Swedish government, the Australian government, you know, or whatever government? Because these guys clearly are making decisions for people superseding the constitutions and the laws that govern their lands, man. You know? I mean, that's like a damn, the Uno draw four reverse. They just got all the juice, man.
Yeah, that, and DeSantis mentions that talking about the CBDC, like how the WF talking about they'll seek, basically they'll take a recommendation if the federal government allow it. He's like, no, the Constitution says the federal government must allow it. They got the power, not you. Shortly, I wish I had the actual one I sent you, because he went right into it with the WF.
Still looking for it.
He mentioned their ass by name, like that shit is unconstitutional, man.
Yeah, that could be a problem. So, you know, like you said, clickety clack.
Oh, while we looking, that's Isaiah 19.
Slide back.
Isaiah 19:1, the burden of Egypt. Behold, Yahweh rideth upon a swift cloud, and shall come into Egypt. So our Lord will visit this land. All right, point blank period. And he will not visit you as a man. He's coming with judgment, with fire and burning. And the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it. And that's all your idols, including your fucking money system. The Lord is attacking it right now by making you go digital. This is his plan. And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians,
Yep.
and they shall fight everyone against his brother, and everyone against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. So actual American citizens, because this is modern Egypt, but not just American citizens, says what? Kingdom against kingdom. And 2 13 says realm versus realm. It's like some Mortal Kombat shit, man. The Lord's gonna have all these Edomites going against one another, these different nations going against one another, and this is the catalyst of it, man. Because the world is, and there's a lot of nations that's upset about how their countries got shut down by the boogie virus, man. All right, the same group that's ran that is running this shit, the WEF, man. So they ready to fucking go to war against each other, man. That's the spirit of the Lord. Whether it's controlled opposition or whether it's the rogues, because hey, they're divided. They're not meant to agree. That's what the prophecies say. All right, a house divided cannot stand.
That's right.
This is the Lord's will being done. And the spirit of Egypt shall fell in the midst thereof, and I will destroy the counsel thereof. So I believe it's a mix of both I believe it's a lot of rogues. You know, a lot of motherfuckers going against the shit. They don't agree how it's running. And then you got those that's set up to be controlled opposition. Esau can, you know, play both sides of the field.
It's just like the so-called Civil War, because Rothschilds funded both the North, the Union, and they funded the Union and they funded the Confederate side. Rothschilds.
Yep, and you know what? They did that during the time of Napoleon. They funded Napoleon, also funded the Brits.
Yeah.
They funded both sides. That's how nigga got out of fucking off an island. He was casted away. Exiled, that's the word.
Yeah.
This nigga had all this funding for more war.
And they're making a movie about him too. I think I'm trying to remember
I've seen it.
playing. I actually think I want to check that out.
The guy that played in with Russell Crowe. I think he's playing Napoleon and shit.
But here, let me see if I can get this loud enough to.
Well, I remember 20 years ago, there was always a guy selling this novel. He said the South and the North would be at war again and stuff. So with the different states and stuff.
I'll put it close to
The program.
So, how concerned are you that in the wake of whatever the next economic disruption or feels is or something, that will wind up with digital currency issued by central bank?
Just can hear it, but
If
I
I
don't see
am
it.
president on day one, we will nix central bank digital currency. Done, dead, not happening in this country. In the state of Florida, because the Fed has been talking about this. Oh, yeah. And what the Fed said was, well, you know, we wouldn't do it without consulting the legislative and executive branches. Ideally, we would get a law passed. No. That's not how the Constitution says. It's only ideal that you get a law passed. You would have to get a law passed. I don't think Congress would pass that. So I think the Fed may try to do something unilaterally. So what we did in Florida is we basically passed a law that says we do not recognize CBDC in the state of Florida. And I think other states are probably going to follow suit. That will jam their ability to do it through executive action. They don't have authority to do it. There'd be lawsuits and everything. For those who don't know what CBDC is, what they want to do, and this is tied in with like Davos, World Economic Forum, all these people, they want the Fed, they want to get rid of cash, they want no cryptocurrency, and they want this to be the sole form of legal tender. And they have said this publicly at like Davos, these other places. It will allow them to prohibit, quote, undesirable purchases like fuel and ammunition. And so the minute you give them the power to do this, they are going to impose a social credit system on this country. CBDC is a massive threat to American liberty. On January 20th, 2025, it goes to the ash heap of history in this country.
So that was he said a lot. He said a mouthful. Basically, he said what we've been saying for months now. He said what he basically solidified that what we've been saying is true. And the CBDC is directly connected to the CHIP, to this digital currency, and there will be a social credit score that comes aligned with that. And you won't. And if you say or do anything on social media that they deem, you know, that they will use their fact checkers to say it's false information, and we know that fact checkers, it is false information. They could just, you know, cut you off from society, all right? And that's the sort of power that they're gonna have, and this is what they want. And this man is opposing it, and so he said they already put it into law that it's not going down to Florida. And I imagine the rest of a lot of the old Confederate states are gonna do the same. These Edomites is getting ready to ride on each other.
That's right.
Yep.
And they gonna kill a whole bunch of you niggas and spiggers while they doing it too.
Yep.
All right.
Oh yeah.
No, I just remember I put a video up on my TikTok channel how now the building was built like in the 1920s, and on there they said how the financial system worked, and then like on the right side they said, yeah, this world runs on crack, just like I said, and this like in the 1920s or something like that. So they been had that in place and stuff.
And credit equals debt.
Yep.
Lord raw, man.
Yeah. Faith.
This is Habakkuk 2. And I'm gonna get to the point 6, 5. Yeah, also because he transgressed by wine, he is a proud man, neither keep it at home. But when enlarged his desire is hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people, which is Edom. You know, he's conquered the whole world. Or he has military bases basically in for sure every continent and most countries. All right, and besides that, he put the Western mindset over everybody. The world is all on central banking system, man. All right, fiat currency. Shall not all take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his? How long unto him that ladeth himself with thick clay? That word thick clay is the Hebrew word ibadiat, which means heavy debt. So now the world is in debt. Who do they owe? The IMF. All right, in America is the Feds, the same central bankers, man. This is Esau's biggest device put upon all the heathens, man. With the Western mindset, with the wine, all right. But the biggest thing he did was make them get on his money system, man. He tricked the world. He took away the damn gold window, all right. He took that away and said, look, well, use the U.S. dollars, linked to oil, y'all all good. Meanwhile, all they did was give America all the fucking power they ever fucking needed,
right?
Man.
Wow, their elites stole all the damn gold,
right,
and got control over the silver.
Yep.
All right. At the same time, go ahead.
Shall not all take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his? How long? And to him that laid himself with thick clay. Shall they not rise up suddenly that shall bite thee, and awake that shall vex thee, and thou shalt be for booties unto them?
Yep.
So this financial change that we're seeing, this is Esau's last step to World War III.
Yep.
This is why the apostles, look, man, the apostles are the apostles, man. All right, for a reason. This is why Apostle Hart says, even with Ukraine joining NATO, it ain't gonna happen yet until this market of beast is implemented, man. Because the war starts when Esau goes in and make this last move, man. That's James the 5th chapter. The rust of your gold and silver is a witness against thee, and shall burn thee up as with fire. That directly links with the Revelation, I believe, is the 17th chapter. These 10 shall hate the whore and burn her up as with fire. So this money system is changed over to digital currency, to the market of beast. All right, it's directly linked to World War III.
That's right. Can I land back off you? And DeSantis just basically gave you the plan, because if DeSantis is against it, guess what? Some of those Western allies are feeling the same way. And so the same way DeSantis is coming against it, because I'm like, damn, how is this gonna, just trying to contemplate. They shall hate the whore. Then what's gonna do it? Damn, it's the digital thing.
Yep.
That's the last straw.
And
because you done broke these people down, and they done followed you. You done put them in all these bad spots, making them go against people that they were doing business with just because you had beef with them.
Yep.
And so basically, it's always been about America and not about your allies.
That's right. And Britain was pissed. All this, the United Kingdom, the Scottish, and so-called British, when they went away from the euro, British pound to the euro, and they were pissed. And now that made the whole value of the euro, the British pound, drop. Their money, they lost lots of money. So now you're going to take away the euro and put it to a CBDC of their type, and then say you got to put it into a digital all right, into a technology chip, all right, and then have to insert that into your epidermis, okay? A lot of them Edomites over there are not going.
They're not with it. Yeah. They don't want to be controlled like that. They got celebrities speaking out against it.
Yeah, every country got its patriots. The patriots of Britain, the patriots of Spain, France, etc.
Yeah.
Come on, they not with this shit, man. So that Esau was that's the spirit. You finna grab it, can't grab one and mark.
So I can see them being divided. I mean, just like Esau is divided here. Eventually, what's going on in France, that Paris shit is gonna reach here, man.
That's right.
And it's gonna be way, way worse, man.
That's right.
And, and then Esau's been lying about the money and the currency, because the whole time he been connecting the dollar to oil. He was hoarding all the gold. Matter of fact, I remember maybe about 5-6 years ago when Bernanke was still the Fed president or whatever position he was in, before that yelling, that bitch looked like she did already, got in there. And I'm like, damn, has this woman ever had penis? Because who would? But anyway, I mean,
She
seriously.
go to
you ever
Jamaica
look-
and pay for it.
you ever- man, you gotta be on a lot of drugs to even get it up
That
for her, man.
ganja.
Called red.
Damn.
That's crazy.
But anyway,
So like,
I'm like, damn, is this woman like the only virgin in the world?
Right,
Her
right.
age? Because damn. But nevertheless, when Ben Bernanke got on TV and said that gold is not money, that it's not currency. Gold has been currency since history began, man.
All right, time to begin.
All right? Gold and silver.
All right, cool.
All right? Because what was the nickname for silver in the past? It was called the rich man's gold. All right? King, you had poor man's gold, exactly. You had kings that didn't even dealt in silver.
Yeah.
They dealt silver and gold, but usually when payments were made to regular people, it was in silver. When you were dealing with other kings, it was in gold. That's what they did.
This is Mark 3:23. And he called them unto him and said unto them in parables, how can Satan cast out Satan? And if a kingdom be divided against itself, that kingdom cannot stand. And if a house be divided against itself, that house cannot stand. And if Satan rise up against himself and be divided, he cannot stand, but hath an end. Right? So the Lord is making it very clear: a kingdom against divided won't stand. First of all, America had Democrats and Republicans. You already done fucked up. Now you got the left and the right. You're even more compounding the fuck up. Now you got the patriots versus the liberals, and the liberals versus the. It's so convoluted.
And the expulsion of Esau continues on. Benji, did you send me this thing with Rosenberg? Man, you know how we be talking and stuff. I'm gonna go ahead and play it. We were talking about this, the whole the nigger thing, and and that book and that evidence. So we might
Where's
as
the
well.
spirit that came up?
Yeah, I'm like, what the hell?
So TikTok.
It's on YouTube.
There you go.
The British threw on to the amalgamation of a bunch of different tribes there that destabilized the region and led to a genocide and a holocaust of the Igbo people. In the 1960s, millions that were systematically killed and murdered. He told me about that too, but I was like, and so it's like, so this is so relevant because we have such a never again Holocaust game, but like these people had it. But what is mind-boggling to me, which I can't imagine why this is not in the news and not spoken about, is that like a large chunk, more than a fourth of the transatlantic slave trade came specifically from this one tribe. So how are we not starting to connect dots and being like, wait a minute, so the tribe in Africa that the government of Israel is fascinated with and enamored by is now the blood of those people flowing through the African American community here, which would make sense to me why they're all being like, we have an Israelite affinity where we're identifying this is us, we are this. So yeah, if the DNA of what these people are, Nigeria is just mean that the British threw on to the amalgamation of a bunch of different tribes there that destabilized the region and led to a genocide and a holocaust of the Igbo people. In the 1960s, millions that were systematically killed and murdered. Yeah, he told me about that too, but I was like running late. And so it's like, so this is so relevant because we have such a never again Holocaust game, but like these people had it.
Yeah, it was replaying.
Okay.
Kyle sent you that, Elder.
God. So that was heavy, man. It just goes right into the, part of the exposure that we were talking about. All right.
So this is so relevant because we
So and part of that exposure of Esau being exposed is the truth coming out about who we are. All right, and the evidence is it's overwhelming. All right, it's just completely and totally overwhelming, and yet you still got people like Dr. Michael Brown, and as I hate saying his name because every time I say his name I get a strike for bullying.
Call him brown nose.
All right.
Quas.
Quasimodo, that nigga Quas, Dr. Quas. All right, but yeah, looking like Herman Monster. All right, but every time, I mean, these guys, information comes out. These guys come against it, man. Why? Because they're trying to put a Band-Aid, as we would say, on a shotgun wound, man. Yeah, you're right. You're trying to put Band-Aids on a shotgun wound, man. You need a tourniquet. You need immediate medical attention, and there's none nearby. You're gonna bleed out from all these lies that you told, man. Esau Edom is completely and totally exposed, and that's a major part of end-day prophecy, falling right in line with everything else we were talking about.
That's right.
You can finish the LD right here. While you getting there, I want to read this quote that the brother Apai just put the info on. Is heaven. Gold is the money of kings. Silver is the money of gentlemen. Barter is the money of peasants. But debt is the money of slaves. And the quote is by Norm Franz. This is Proverbs 22:7. The rich ruleth over the poor, and the borrower is servant to the lender. So anytime you dealing with a debt-based system, you are a servant. Esau, Edom, and that's in the rest of the Habakkuk too, man. Talks about the people working in the very fire are for vanity. Esau, Edom has made the whole world slave. This is his last step, all right, to make that thing fully official, was you taking that chip. All right, yes, the market of beasts is the chip. It's not fucking white women. It's not sin.
Embargo.
It's not embargo. All these weird fucking things. Ain't no way in hell anybody with a brain can think that the market of beasts is anything else outside of something physically being in you that allows you to buy and sell, as the scriptures literally say, man.
God, this is Job 20:22. In the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. So all these people who've been done wrong by your lies, basically, those are the laborers, man, that you took the gold and silver from.
That's right.
That gave them paper, or now you trying to take the paper from them and give them some make believe digital.
That's some shit.
Up in the spaceship.
In
the cloud, my money in the cloud.
Give us your gold
What
and
the
silver.
fuck, man? My money in the cloud. Right.
Here's some paper. You know what? Want the paper too? All right, take this and fucking put it in you, man.
Well, that goes to show you that that Americans are really gullible, and that all their degrees mean absolutely jack shit, because you had a whole generation of people that allow the government to illegally, against their own laws of their own lands, remove gold and silver from your person and give you fucking paper.
Yeah, they make you learn the Constitution in 7th or 8th grade.
Then violate the shit out of it.
Exactly. Then make you go over it again in high school and completely go against it. And you don't say shit about it, man. You just fucking take it. Hey, you Americans are literally the dumbest people on the fucking planet, man.
Like you said, the home of the slave, just like Jill Scott said, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're not brave. You're fucking stupid, man. You're the home of the dumbasses. The home of the bend over and take it.
Yeah, really, your forefathers would be ashamed of you. You just the whole Constitution is set up so you can, if your government is being tyrannical, you go against them, and y'all just accepting it. And then fucking
and replace them. It don't even have to be no Civil War, none of that shit.
Yeah.
You just go and replace all them people that's in office.
That's right.
As simple as that.
And then old Bones Biden, the one in here that mocks you right to your fucking face and say shit. He said, "Yeah, you can't come against us with your guns. We got nukes." He said he's ready to fight against the fucking American citizens.
Pretty much.
He said it.
He's saying, "Buck up, man. We got helicopters and rockets and shit."
Yep, knuck if you buck, boy.
That was Biden as he was tooting on the pipe with his son.
Right.
Yep.
Nuck if you buck.
Taking good bumps.
Piper.
Good key bumps.
Go ahead, brother.
Sirach chapter 21:8. He that buildeth his house with other men's money is like one that got himself stones for the tomb of his burial. All right.
Yep. And they said they shall rise up suddenly that shall bite thee. These heathens are gonna be on your ass. All you that been the bow, bending towards Babylon. You will be aided. The Lord said it's gonna happen. He will fill Babylon with men as with caterpillars. You will be invaded. And this is leading the way, man. It's two things actually. It's quite funny. Your forcing of homosexuality on the world has put that spirit of division out there more too. All right, and then you trying to make this last step and gain a complete control and power over the world by putting a chip in them, man. Everybody's fucking hating you. What does it say in Sirach? Pride is hate before the Most High and man. Even Esau proud as hate how proud the America is, man. It says he's more stout than his fellows. Even Esau hates your damn pride, man. That's crazy. The proud bastard Esau hates the American Edomites because you're so goddamn proud, man. And Salakia, not just the American Edomites, because there is a group that's equally as proud as you, and that's the fucking Amalekites, man. These fake Jews.
Assassinate people.
That's right.
Yeah, the biggest welfare recipients of the world is the state of Israel.
Bring it out.
Because there's a least to the greatest in every nation, and so there's a base of the wicked, who even, you know, certain Edomites look at the worst of them like.
So even the wicked were like, man, you really?
Right.
I
You
thought-
really proud.
Man, yeah.
I thought I was proud.
I mean, you blowing my pride away.
You're right.
Mercy. Did you want me to finish the
Oh,
three?
yeah.
The loop. I mean the
division.
Mark, like you. So I'm gonna pick up in Mark 3 and 26. And if Satan rises up against Satan himself, and be and if Satan rises up against himself and be divided, he cannot stand but hath an end. No man can enter into a strong man's house and spoil his goods, except he will first bind the strong man, and then he will spoil his house.
There you go. So this is the Lord proverbially tying you up before he rob your ass. All right. This division Lord is putting out there from the side of my spirit, which Wisdom Solomon 14 tells you, idolatry causes sodomy, and then it says what? That's the beginning, cause, and end of all evil. All right. So he's using that, and he's using your fucking idol called money to take your ass down. He got you all divided over that shit, man.
Verily I say unto you, all sins shall be forgiven unto the sons of men, and blasphemies wheresoever they shall blaspheme. But he that shall blaspheme against the Holy Spirit have never forgiveness, but is in danger of eternal damnation. I think that's the one. Yeah, but that is beautiful, because when you see that nation divided against nation, and if we go back to, I think you quoted the Obadiah, the Lord said he sent an ambassador amongst the heathen. So guess what? He got this angel specifically sent amongst Esau to get Esau to be at war with Esau.
Yep.
So there you have a right hand side of Esau and a left hand side of Esau, even though both the sides are both wicked. When they're both fighting one another, there's so much infighting within Esau. There's a guy on TikTok, I believe he was Jake though, he had too much salt and spirit, and he was just talking about Edomites, Caucasian, and he was like, man, y'all think that, we're living this and doing that. He said, there's so much division amongst themselves. They're not helping one another out. There's so much infighting with Esau. You just don't see it because they're collective front against the planet, but then behind the scenes, they're at each other's necks.
Yeah, that too, and secondly too, here in America, as a result of the infighting, they're hurting their own, because you pull up a pie chart, man. 37 is a big part of 100%. And they're saying that 30% of Americans are homeless. And they're saying that a lot of these people are actual middle class. So, because basically because you had when the middle class, you had upper middle class, and lower middle class. There is no more lower end of middle class.
Yeah.
Right? And the middle class is practically done too. You got upper middle class, and then rich people, and then you got poor people. And the way it's going, the upper middle class is just going to become the working poor.
You got it.
Right? Well, the ones who own, they own businesses with that, and things like that. Well, they're not like super rich, but they're doing well. They're not going to be able to travel and do things because their overhead, after they pay their employees, they don't have money to buy yachts and travel and do all the shit that they used to do. All right? So he's messing it up for a lot of these people. And like I said, a lot of these people are angry and hurt. They're still mad, about losing their businesses during the pandemic, and they are ready to go clickety clack, man. The Egyptian against the Egyptian is very real, man. All right, and it's going to happen. What you got, brother?
This Ecclesiastes 10:8, because of unrighteous dealings, injury, and riches got by the sea, the kingdom is translated from one people to another. All their unrighteousness and their wickedness, that's man, this is all turning back on their own head.
Yeah, because the billionaires and the super wealthy, their wealth went way up, while the middle class declined sufficiently. I mean, brothers have brought out the articles, man, and the evidence where you got people that's making $150,000 a year saying it ain't enough money, and they living paycheck to paycheck. They struggling and stressed out. Shit, $150,000, man, I'd be comfortable. Which is probably why the Lord ain't give it to me. $150,000 a year to them, man, they feeling like, man, I'm nothing. I'm no better than a nigger.
It said the pandemic boosts super rich share of global wealth. The biggest transfer of global wealth
Exactly.
in the last, since the robbery of
Since the dawn
the
of
gold.
time.
Well, right, kind.
Nothing like this has ever happened before.
Mhm.
Hence the reason why these people that keep thinking that, you know how Jake be always prolonged. Somebody can grab that scripture. They think that this thing is still far off. I was just at a funeral a couple weeks ago with one of my childhood friend dies, man, and I went in there and I'm chopping it up and talking to him, sitting down next to my buddy, and we looking at her up there in the casket, man. He's like, damn, I never thought I'd see one of us go, man. He's like, damn, I thought we'd be like 70, 80 years old when one of us would go like that. And I was like, man, I said, you still think that you got that much time after all I've told you? I said, you can't see everything happening? And he's like, yeah, man, but still, man, we still got time, though, man. All that stuff you said. And I was like, all right, man. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. But you know what? He's the same one that said he cool with being the 2/3 because he getting the kingdom anyway. Because he want to be comfortable on this side. Right. Mainly, one of the things that he don't want to give up is pork. It's like, fuck that, man. That shit tastes good, man. Fuck that. So, Jake, man.
I mean, this shit is sick, man. I'm just looking at I was Googling some of the statistics. It says the U.S. billionaires profiting the most from the pandemic. Elon Musk went from 24.6 billion to 234.
Oh yeah, because the brick and mortar stores took a major hit.
Mm-hmm.
So Amazon and stores like that, they were able to just move merchandise. They made out like a fat rat.
Brother.
The mom and pop shops and even some of the big name brick and mortar stores went under, man.
Well, you say
and Sears completely gone.
Yes.
There's no more Kmart. Because
Yeah.
you got to remember when the pandemic hit, we were still in the middle of the retail apocalypse.
Sears was on one
The
leg.
retail apocalypse was still going on. All right.
See that, but when you say 24
Ventures.
yes, oh man, they don't
JCP.
young men don't even know what that. They don't even know what that. Yeah, they don't even know what you're talking about.
Venture.
Venture,
47
But you adventured where? Where's the
Target
adventure? It's
They done
Black
one
and
on
white.
95th in Oakland.
Gold
You
blocks.
didn't get you though.
Oh, they don't know that.
Yeah, the
No,
gold
you didn't
black.
get
They
you.
going about
You
gold
didn't
blocks.
catch the-
They went to Zem's.
But it says 24.6 to 234. He got 200 billion more richer in 1 to 2 years.
That's
when
insane.
you look at
Bring that
it
up
takes
again, brother.
1,000 million to make 1 billion. So to make 200 billion more, he made two. I have to do the math.
Then that
Thousands of
bitch
dollars
left him and took
more.
half.
Come on, son.
But bring that scripture out. Yeah,
And he's
that's
not
a
the only one.
ridiculous amount of money to make in that period of
I
time.
can talk about-
off the pain and suffering, destruction of families and people here in Babylon. And honestly, man, I thought the Americans would lose it and do shit, man. Collectively, man, Americans are some fucking pussies.
Yeah.
They're done.
They
They're
really
done.
are, man.
Even-
walk around with all their ARs and their flags and they don't tread on me shit. They really a bunch of
They're just so
cowards.
How did Bill Gates
Bro,
get
none of
over
these try to
$30
believe-
billion richer over the slamdemic from 98 billion to 100?
Oh, well, we already know how he did it.
Come on
We ain't gonna say nothing because
You already know.
we already know.
Right.
Jeff Bezos got an extra 50 billion.
Jeff Bezos.
It's Ecclesiastes 10 and 8. Because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another. So yeah, man, hey, these devils is going down, man. The Lord is taking them down because of their unrighteous dealings, man. Hey, these devils ain't gonna be able to come back with a big strike back. It ain't happening like that. It's time for our kingdom to rise. Because hey man, we about to be put on top. These devils about to get put in hell.
Bring it
For all
out.
of the wickedness they did, man.
Out time.
And then I'm gonna read verse 4. The power of the earth is in the hand of the Lord Yahweh. In due time, people set over it one that is profitable. And who is the one that is profitable? Yahweh Shai. So Yahweh Shai is coming, man, and he's coming with vengeance. He ain't coming to have no fun, give you no damn lollipops and flowers. He coming with a sword.
Yeah, he said the day of vengeance is in his heart.
That's
Let
right.
me grab it.
Will you render me a recompense and speedily will send a recompense upon your own head? There's nothing you can pay to the Lord that's going to stop him from doing what he's going to do.
Right.
Yeah,
They
this
can't be bought off.
This is Isaiah 63:1. It says, "Who is this that cometh from Edom with dyed garments from Bosra? This that is glorious in his apparel, traveling in the greatness of his strength. I that speak in righteousness, mighty to save. Wherefore art thou red in thine apparel, that thy garments like him that treadeth the wine vat? I have trodden the winepress alone, and of the people there was none with me. For I will tread them in my anger, and trample them in my fury, and their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments, and I will stain all my raiment. For the day of vengeance is in my heart," which means in your mind.
Yep.
"And the year of my redeemed is come." So the Lord is coming to redeem his men, his people, all right, his kingsmen,
That's right.
all right,
Real
the men of the king,
Right.
all right, and put down all mountains and hills, man. They're gonna all be put down and turned into stubble, man, into dust.
That's right.
All right. He's not coming here and greeting you as a man this time, man. All right. He's not gonna come in lowly on a damn ass. All right. He coming to kick your ass.
Right.
Conquering lions.
All right. This is Jeremiah 4:7, and it reads, "The lion is come up from the thicket, and the destroyer of the Gentiles is on his way. He is gone forth from his place to make thy land desolate, and thy city shall be laid waste without inhabitant." Somebody join me. Keep it going.
Oh, I got something.
Go ahead, brother. Go ahead, Ash.
Oh, this is you getting into destruction. That's right up our alley. It's 2 Ezra 16. Woe be unto. There's so much in the 16. Where y'all want me to start at? Just tell me. It's so beautiful. It's 2 Ezra 16:1. Woe be unto thee, Babylon and Asia. Woe be unto thee, Egypt and Syria. Gird up yourselves with cloths of sack and hair. Bewail your children. Be sorry, for your destruction is at hand. A sword is sent upon you, and who may turn it back? A fire is sent among you, and who may quench it?
Nobody. The Lord said He will not call back His words, man.
Go ahead, read.
Go ahead to 7, brother.
God, plagues are sent unto you,
8.
and what is he that may drive them away? May any man drive away a hungry lion in the wood?
Nope.
Or may anyone quench the fire and stubble when it hath begun to burn?
Go ahead.
May one turn again the arrow that is shot of a strong archer? Man,
You can't pull it back once it's been let go,
that's
man.
right. Let it
And
go
so the
then.
Lord gonna hijack. You know, they showed you in the movies, and they've also admitted it on almost every social media platform. How these UAPs show up to these sites,
Yeah.
and you know, and take over their weapon systems.
Turn them on.
Hell, we
turn 'em
just,
on,
you
turn 'em
know,
on.
that was a scenario in a movie that I just watched.
Mm.
Although it was an AI, you know, but nevertheless, you know, real intelligence is going to show up and take over their weapon systems and then use them against them.
Right, which shows they're fallible. Esau's technology is fallible. Esau will tell you himself, like that one Edomite army official when he was on it, when he encountered the chariot, he said there's nothing on this earth that can even reach or is close to technology that I confronted.
That can defend against it.
let me read this last one.
Go ahead, brother.
This is still 2 Ezra. I just want to get this 15 now.
Go ahead.
It's 2 Ezra 16-15. The fire is kindled and shall not be put out till it consume the foundation of the earth.
Yeah, so every hill, every mountain. The hills represent small governments, mountains represent big governments. That all principalities are going to be brought down, man. There will not be a Moabite, an Ammonite, an Elamite, an Edomite, a Hamite government in place upon the return of Yahushua, man. All right, he gonna come and wreak havoc on you, man. Like Thanos and what was the other one? And
Dark Side.
Apocalypse.
Apocalypse.
All right, Dark Side. All that rolled up in one, man.
That's right.
Cain. Cain. I got something for you.
Go ahead, brother.
This is Ezekiel 12:22. Yeah, Ezekiel 12:22. It's in the NLT.
Come on.
It says, "Son of man, you've heard that proverb they quote in Israel, time passes and prophecies come to nothing. Tell the people, this is what the sovereign Lord says. I will put an end to this proverb, and you will soon stop quoting it. Now give them this new proverb to replace the old one. The time has come for every prophecy to be fulfilled.
I said some of them.
Every prophecy to be
My
fulfilled.
bad. The majority of them.
Every prophecy to be fulfilled. There will be no more false visions and flattering predictions in Israel, for I am the Lord. If I say it, it will happen. There will be no more delays. You rebels of Israel, I will fulfill my threat of destruction in your own lifetime. I, the sovereign Lord, have spoken.
Text me that. Text me that. That sounds like a beautiful lesson. Because you all keep on playing with the Most High. You keep thinking that He's a liar. The Most High says He's not a man that He should lie. He says, so shall be the words that go forth out of my mouth. They should not return unto me void, but they shall prosper and and be accomplished whereto He sent it, man. All right? So the Lord said He's going to tear this place down. He's going to tear it down. He said He's going to tear it down in His fury, in His wrath. Okay? Go ahead.
This Habakkuk chapter 3. Start with 1. It says, O Yahweh, I have heard thy speech and was afraid. O Yahweh, revive the work in the midst of the years. In the midst of the years, make known in wrath, remember mercy. It says, Most High came from Teman. That's all the soft land Israel. Those so-called UFOs gonna come through the portals over there. It's gonna spread all over. All right. It don't mean that that Yahweh is a god of Edomites, Garfield. Your dumb ass, man. All right, it says, and the Holy One from Mount Paran, Selah, His glory covered the heavens, and the earth will full His prey. The glory told those chariots, so-called UFOs, and His brightness was as the light. He had horns come out His hands, and there was the hiding of His prey. The horns come to hand, those lasers coming out, shooting, man. All right, from the fire ship and the other so-called UFOs, the angels, man. Before Him went pestilence, and burning coals went forth at His feet, the lasers.
And that icy beam nuclear fire is going to pale in comparison to the fire and brimstone from the chariots.
Yep.
That chariot fire, to this day, Mount Sinai is still burnt. A mountain burnt. How you burn a mountain? The fire of the Lord. Man.
Oh, the Spirit of the Lord is going to be in the nukes too.
That's right.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Because the Lord said it. Because He got to put an utter end.
They're not going to mix, crash into each other, which means their defense systems are going to be futile.
Yes.
How the villains say in the movies, your attempts to defend from me is futile. You know.
I got one more.
Real quick,
basically, it's a waste of time.
that word for horn in the Hebrew was paran, which means horn string. But one of the definitions is of rays of light. Wow. You know, that's the God put it in.
Yep.
That's the lasers coming out.
Yep. Verse 6. He stood and measured the earth. He beheld and drove asunder the nations, and the everlasting mountains were scattered, and the perpetual hills did bow. His ways are everlasting. So Yahweh basically went through them, man, like a hot knife going through a butter, man. Ain't nobody gonna stand before him.
This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 18, verse 15. Thine almighty word leap down from heaven out of thy royal throne.
Every time I hear that, brother, I see that. All right, because I hear Apostle Gabar saying you gotta vision these scriptures, and you gotta understand someone sitting from a repose position and coming up and leaping and then down off a throne, because then I hear King Solomon in the scriptures how he had the 6 steps with lions on each side, and so I just see him chilling in repose on his throne, and then at the time of leap, and then he sees he's going to let out a battle cry. Come on, bro.
It's Isaiah.
So like we'll come right back to that. See these, so know how the Father feel it about this shit.
Isaiah 42:13. Yeah, and Isaiah says the Lord, roughly paraphrasing, the Lord, basically how your OG or your whoop your ass and say, it hurt me more than it hurt you. Right. The Lord said He was pained with what Jerusalem was pained. I roughly paraphrasing. He felt that pain, man. Even though He rejoiced over judging us, but you think you think the Lord wanted to just punish us? No, he got to because we went off. All right. But at the end of the day, he still felt it. He see us going through this hell, man. He hear our cries. Just Isaiah 42:13. Yahweh shall go forth as a mighty man. He shall stir up jealousy like a man of war. He shall cry, yell, roar. He shall prevail against his enemies. Whenever I think of this scripture, I think about Logan. All right, the movie Logan, when they grabbed his daughter, he let that yell out, and he just turned up on me. It was all that hurt, that pain, and anger. That's the best Marvel movie. That's the best one. When they grabbed his daughter, you heard the hurt, the pain, and the anger in their yell, man.
Right.
And he let loose on their ass.
And keep in mind, the Lord said he's long suffering. He said he's angry with the wicked every day.
That's right.
So this is compounded upon compounded upon compounded upon compounded. He's pissed the fuck off like higher than the he say pistivity.
And you still walking around here bold in your wickedness, bold in your sin. Like that dumbass big-breasted nigga woman who flaunting her breasts all around Abu Dhabi or Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
Right? They want to roll her neck and try to yell and go back and forth with one of them men over there, man.
They do that over there?
They ain't playing that shit over there, man.
Oh, they beat her down.
She lucky that she didn't get beheaded in the middle of the square.
Right.
All right.
I found that precept. I'll just read it real quick. This is Isaiah 63. That's the spirit because it's right after what Elder Malcolm read. The Lord coming to destroy this place. So what is it about? This is Isaiah 63 in verse 8. He said, surely they are my people, children that would not lie, so he was their savior. And all their affliction, he was afflicted. And the angel of his presence saved them, and his love and his pity he redeemed them, and he buried them and carried them all the days of old. So when we going through hell, man, the Lord feels that, man. That's how you know we the Israelites. That's why your OG or your father say that it hurt me, more than hurt you.
Right.
So they really feel that. They know they got to do it, but they feel that, man. Esau, these heathens don't say shit like that when they chasten their children. How Esau don't even chasten their damn kids.
Yeah.
So they don't think like that, man. But that's the spirit that's on us.
Wow, Aries said, fuck you, Mom. This is my space. This is my space. Get out of my room, Mom.
They just shrug their shoulders like, Go ahead,
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 18, verse 15. Thine almighty word leap down from heaven out of thy royal throne as a fierce man of war into the midst of a land of destruction.
He said, a fierce man of war. What imagery do you see there? Do you see? I see like Leonidas kicking that motherfucker in the hole. I see. What's our profession? You know whatever. You know what I'm saying? That those great big mighty. They all goddamn it sticks and they're little. They're nothing. Yahweh Shem Yahushai, the King of the universe. And he says, read it again.
Wisdom of Solomon 18, verse 15. Thine almighty word leap down from heaven out of thy royal throne as a fierce man of war into the midst of a land of destruction, and brought thine unfeigned commandment as a sharp sword, and standing up filled all things with death.
So he beat all their ass.
Many crowns.
Everybody.
Yeah. Even when you picture angry Edomite, it's nothing.
Yeah,
You picture a regular Jacob angry with the police even. It take 4-5 cops. Yeah. You seen them when they hit him with the motherfucking taser. They got hit 2, 3, 4 tasers. Right. He'll rip them out and shit. Yeah. Hey man, the Lord is a angry so-called black man right now, man. That's Revelation, the first chapter.
Mm-hmm. Exodus 15:3. The Most High is a man of war. Yahweh is his name. Mm-hmm. Right? Yahweh Shai is stunting like his daddy. So he's a man of war. He tells us to gird up our loins.
That's why he had the golden girdle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And the nuclear missiles he gonna unleash on America, the rest of the world. That's gonna be his therapy.
Yeah.
That's right. That's how he's gonna assuage his anger. Yes.
Yeah. Appease
his anger. Yeah. That's what he said. Is some more in there? Is that it?
A little more, and it touched the heaven, but it stood upon the earth.
All right. The mushroom clouds going from the bottom all the way to the top. It's going to that radiation, the whole nine, the fire. This Lord said in Malachi, there's going to days that's going to burn like an oven. Yeah. It's going to touch all this shit. All right, and hallelujah.
That was Wisdom of Solomon.
Chapter 18, verse 15 and 16.
15 and 16, kind of.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, you should read 17 and 18 as well, brother.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 18, verse 17. Then suddenly visions of horrible dreams troubled them sore, and terrors came upon them unlooked for.
That's right. Hey, and the Lord said He's going to plague this place in Egypt again. So these different plagues that Egypt went through, because that's what's happening right here. Hey, these different things, how the Lord does it, God knows, He's going to be bringing these different plagues back.
Apparitions.
I'm just going to say this clear. They're going to be seeing apparitions. And it says that what they thought they saw was worse than actually was happening.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what it is at Camp Friday.
The wall,
Saturday, so like it.
a wall to be running, or cat me out there, picture something crazy, and have to get a heart attack. Cat me out. What the fuck is that? It's the big one coming.
Right. Yashari was something tough, like, because we was talking about spiders and stuff. He said, then they gonna see the Indiana Jones spider actually come to get you at the big ass spider webs. Jumanji, yes. You know what I'm saying? The Lord said He's gonna give you apparitions. He's gonna give you apparitions. The Lord said He's gonna cast your own imaginations on you. Your own imagination. Your worst enemy is in your head.
That's it.
Yeah.
Like the movie It.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. Everybody died and was attacked by the thing that they feared, man.
The most.
That's right out the scriptures, man. The Lord is the king of terrors, man.
That's right.
You got
What you got?
Yeah, this is
wrap it up, brother.
Isaiah 66:4.
Yep.
I will also choose their delusions and will bring their fears upon them, because when I call. Oh, yeah, this is Isaiah 66:4. I also will choose their delusions and will bring their fears upon them.
So you know you got your own mind, what you scared of, what you worried about, and what you think, the stuff that you don't even tell nobody because you don't want nobody to look at you. So the Lord's gonna bring your own shit on you.
Yeah.
All right.
That fucking pack of homo thugs. All right. Fucking drugged out and horny. They gonna get a lot of you scoffers, man.
Booty
I'm
warriors.
not
Booty
gay.
warriors, yeah.
In the U.S. today.
Yeah. It's coming. These
Don't
are
you
some
like
of the
extra
fears.
mayo?
Booty.
I was just fooling y'all.
Right. So I guess damn. So you nappy bald head hoes ain't gonna be the only ones that carousel ride, huh?
Nope.
Yeah.
Shit.
It says.
Arizona's gonna write you, bring it out.
It says because when I called, none did answer. When I spake, they did not hear. But they did evil before mine eyes and chose that in which I delighted not.
Wow.
That's 2:30.
Yeah.
Could you finish up with 15 to 16 and
I had something real quick.
Go ahead, Uncle.
Just Wisdom of Solomon 3:9. It says, "They that put their trust in Him shall understand the truth, and such as be faithful in love shall abide with Him. For grace and mercy is to His saints. He hath care for His elect, which is the Israelites. But the ungodly shall be unpunished according to their own imaginations, which have neglected the righteous and forsaken the Lord."
So the Lord said, I'm going to punish you according to your own imagination. I must, what did Paul say? How can I, unless I become a castaway? I must serve the Lord. I have no other choice because I have a wonderful imagination. And I do not want not one of the things in my imagination coming back on my ass. All right? And you know how people write these stories and write these books and write these things, the shit that come out of people's mouth? People have some crazy ass shit.
Steven
People
Spielberg
crazy.
in for a Rude Awakening.
Come on, man.
No, that's some shit they seen as a kid, and this shit comes back and shit. They went on for years and years because it fucked them so bad. Lord gonna bring that back.
There's gonna be a lot of evil clowns running out here, man.
Yeah. And you women, you got one
Yeah, a lot of people
imagination.
do have a fear of clowns. That's weird to me, but a lot of people really do have a fear of clowns.
Dude, why do people got all they love these scare shows, the zombie shows, the killing shows, the horror shows, and the horror shows are some of the most outselling shows out there. People are demented. They like that shit. A lot of, especially bitches, they like to be scared. So why you want to be scared? I never got off on go and get scared.
Yeah, I never liked that shit.
What the hell?
And then once I understood the truth and understood, left and right hand side, that shit don't even affect me.
Right.
So I'm like that. Well, that's for you wicked niggas.
Bring it out.
That's for you people who the Lord not with.
You hit on the nail is I want to go see Insidious.
That's the left-hand angels come in, shit. I'm point them niggas right there.
I want to go see
right to them.
Insidious through the red door, and it was some women in there, cause you women, you got one hell of a fucking imagination, man. Watching the next 48 hours, all the crime solving.
They the ones who watch that shit.
They love
They the ones who
Snap.
watch
What? That's the other one. Snap.
Yeah. They the ones who like to watch that, man.
And then they send pen pal letters, love letters to the damn murderers in prison.
Yeah, weird ass women.
Hey, a bitch. It was Salakia. This bitch just got murdered by this dude. Now the dude was in jail for murder. He got like 16 years. He got parole after like 16 years. The priest was advocating for him. He ended up marrying the priest's daughter. He killed that bitch too.
Bring it up. Blood for blood.
She earned it though, trying to leave
God
him.
knows.
What you know?
She thought she was gonna leave him.
Right. So fuck you know, he bitch was last wife. Bitch, you freaking.
I'm gonna leave you.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
All right.
In the bag.
All right, you gonna leave me in pieces. All right, go ahead, brother. Read.
Yeah, this is
You ain't touching me. I'm touching you.
All of you.
Right.
this is Isaiah 32:5. It says, "The vile person shall be no more called liberal, nor the churl said to be bountiful. For the vile person will speak villainy, and his heart will work iniquity to practice hypocrisy, and to utter error against the Lord Yahweh, to make empty the soul of the hungry, and he will cause a drink of the thirsty in the field." Which the times that we're coming into, Esau's going to rip off that mask he has on and just reveal his horns, because he's already being exposed.
And he's kind of doing it with this trying to normalize little kid stuff and all this other shit that's
Crazy.
going on. So he's kind of showing who he really is. I mean, he's been doing it with his law enforcement.
Bring it up.
You see an Edomite fully armed, all right, get talked down and taken alive, or the Edomite, shot police officers, get taken alive. Jake be on the cell phone, get hit 90 times.
Right.
The
The one dude that was the caretaker of the retarded kid.
never forget it. Sat down next to him, raised his hands, and then shot him with his hands up.
And he explained to him the man is a damn retard, man. Lit him up. And even worse than that, the recent shit in Mississippi with the dildos, they raped them dudes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so they showing you who they are, man.
That's sick.
So when this destruction come over them, look, it can't come fast enough. All right, so with that, man, we're gonna give all praises, honor, and glory to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash.
Wah,
Ba, ba, ba.
Hey, did you hear about that nigga?